Hello, thank you again for joining us for an episode of TLC TV. I'm Kyealnd Jackson.
I'm Sam Draut.
And thanks again for joining us. So this is our first episode after coming back from the 2016 break, and so there's been a lot going on, right?
Yeah, there has been quite a bit, so if you want to go ahead and get us started with quite a bit of news has been going on for the past couple weeks.
Definitely. So just over break, there was the results of the A&S climate survey that was put out. So that was just a survey that was sent to different A&S faculty. It talked about how's your morale, what do you think about your pay and everything. And the results were actually pretty unfortunate. It looks like A&S is being paid a lot less than most faculty statewide, that the morale is at a lowest that it's been in multiple years. And a lot of A&S faculty are they're just not very pleased with how things are going right now.
Do you notice any certain repercussions or anything that's going to happen next, or at least in the next few weeks?
So they have all of the data from those surveys. It was multiple surveys that they put out. And so the next step that they're taking is they're going to have a faculty meeting to present that in person, show the data, show where everything's been going, the trend that it's been going these last couple of years. And they're supposed to be presenting that to the board and to President James Ramsey and his board here soon after that meeting to get things together.
There has been a little drama or a few issues with the Board of Trustees on maybe a little different note. Do you want to go in a little bit on that?
There's been a lot of drama with the Board of Trustees. They talked about removing President James Ramsey from the foundation because he actually presides over that as well. And two board members actually at this last meeting resigned their names from a declaration they made last year where they were in support of Ramsey.
Okay, well, that's quite a bit of news going on, and I'm sure it'll continue to develop over the next few weeks.
So we'll be bringing updates as those goes on, but it's been a crazy start to 2016. But not only for news, it's been crazy for sports as well. How's that been going?
Yes, it has. It has been a lot of different things developing and a lot of different things going on, and the fall sports obviously wrapped up and they're into the off season, but now the big focus is on men's and women's basketball, and that has gotten into ACC play, so things are really into the depths of the year.
Now, a lot of people were kind of speculative about basketball after that UK loss, but from what it looks like, our basketball's been getting better. How's that been going?
The men got a big win against Pitt, which kind of sparked the talk that is the defense back. They held Pitt to a season-low 41 points, really played well the entire game, held Pitt to 28% from the field in the first half, played a tremendous game. Rick Pitino jokingly said it was like having his old best friend back, how well the Cardinals played defense throughout the entire game. And it was really interesting to see because Damian Lee and Trey Lewis, your two leading scorers, actually didn't have that great of games. Trey Lewis was held scoreless for the first time all year, and he's really struggled in ACC play, which has been an intriguing development because Louisville continues to win, and I think he will get back and he will continue to find his shooting stroke, and he will score again. And obviously I think he's in a slump right now, but he'll get back to it. Damian Lee, on the other hand, hasn't shot the ball well from the field, but he continues to make free throws and get to the free throw line. He hit 8 free throws against Pitt, so as long as he's getting to the charity stripe, he's still having an impact. And then he is 6'6", so he rebounds the ball well, and then also he plays good defense. So Louisville's got a tough ACC road ahead of them. They've got Virginia twice, Duke twice, North Carolina. So they've got 3 or 4 tough games in a 2-week stretch, and so it'll be an interesting couple weeks for Louisville to see what they can do in the ACC.
It's already off to a pretty crazy start. It's like a roller coaster, just going up and down so far. But not only for men's basketball, but for women's, right?
Oh yes, the women's team picked up a big win, and they've actually won 11 straight games, and they've played extremely well after starting off the year 1-4 and 3-5, and it's been a great collective effort to see the team kind of come back from that rough start, because at a certain point in the year they weren't a good basketball team and they were really struggling, but you saw the defense kind of started to lock in and refocus and play well, and then the entire team played better offensively as a team. They started sharing the ball a little more, and one thing that you saw is Asia Durr, who suffered a groin injury in her end of her high school year, had surgery in May. She came out and really struggled the first month or so to just get healthy, but now she's kind of picked up the play, and she's hit 5 threes yesterday, and she's played extremely well. So Louisville's really turned it on the ACC. They're 6-0 now, and they're the front runner for the ACC right now, but they've got some tough games left to play.
Wow, so it's been looking great and going forward for basically all of our sports. So before we close, what was your analysis of how football ended for just this past season?
Yeah, I think football obviously ended the season very well, winning 7 of their last 9 games, and they played better towards as the year ended. I think they got a little more offensive continuity, and Lamar Jackson kind of took over those last 2 games, really 3 if you consider the second half of the Pitt game, and he's coming back. You've got 18 to 22 starters returning, and they've got some big news about a week ago when Josh Harvey-Clemens, Keith Kelsey, Shaq Wiggins, D'Angelo Brown, those guys decided they were going to return and come back for their senior year, which was a big lift for Todd Grantham's defense. And with those guys coming back, I think Louisville's defense is a little more shored up, and they should get together for a good spring practice with a lot of guys coming back, a lot of returners, which is what you want. And then Petrino's actually bringing in one of the best recruiting classes in the country, I think 29th nationally, which would be Louisville's best if he's able to hold that ranking, Louisville's best in program history. So a lot of good things are kind of coming together. It really depends on what the returning guys do in the offseason, if they continue to work hard to see what goes on and how they develop.
Wow, it's been a crazy beginning to the year. We have good changes for sports. We have possible new changes for news. It's going to be crazy. All right, well, thank you all for joining us for another episode of TLC TV. This has been Kyealnd Jackson.
And Sam Draut.
Thank you all for joining us.